before I had interviewed him. Go figure. With Martha Stewart, Jack from Twitter, a couple other guys, and everybody was like, well, Twitter does this for my brand, and Twitter does this for my brand, and Twitter does this, and Twitter does that. And Gary came out. Pierce Morgan cut him off pretty quick, but unfortunately. But he said, you know, I was back in the green room. I almost wanted to throw up on myself by hearing Martha Stewart talk about Twitter. You can, I guess, again, you can have a little bit bigger guts to say certain things like that when you're that much of an influencer. But he's exactly right. If you're not listening to your customers, how the hell do you know what they want? If you're not listening to what they want, and actually not listening for cues on what's their budget, what's their estimated time of getting started, and what am I going to get out of this? Listening on, you know what, I really care. I really care. And what you're able to do is withdraw people feel that. You know what it feels like for somebody to care about you? We've all felt it. We all feel it on a daily basis always. What's that feels like? It feels good. Feel wanted. The person cares. Okay. And what does that do? Sometimes it develops trust in a good way. Sometimes it develops, trust in a bad way. But with business, it needs to be in a good way. Why? Because if I can make you feel that I really care about you, then you're going to know that you can trust me with your brand. I'm out there representing your brand. That's a big decision for you to make, to give crazy, off-the-wall, over-the-top Sebastian with the crazy glasses and a cool TV show called SocialBuzzTV the opportunity to take your brand, become your brand, and get out there and create a buzz about it. Because it has to be. I've got to go into character. I have to become your brand to get out there and sell your brand. You've got to care. Every single one. I was at a conference a couple weeks ago, and a guy said, my favorite kind of clients are the ones that go from my database to my cell phone. So you start in my database, you're a client, I manage it from there, then it becomes crazy ideas at 3 o'clock in the morning with text messages. Call me at 7 a.m. before my workout. Hey, real quick, I know we got to call at 9, but I got to get this out or I'm going to go crazy. What about this? What if we did this? Hey, what about this? Outside the box. Little cliche. How about outside the box, underneath the box, next to the box? Kick the box, flip the box, do whatever you need to do, because that's how things are evolving and moving right now. It's not slowing down. I know I've talked about Gary a lot, but wait till you see the interview and the content that's involved in it. He said, listen, people, we are grossly underestimating where we're at with all of this and the rapid speed of where we're going with business. This is the first inning of a doubleheader game. May even be the national anthem. So if you're not on the flow of social media and how it integrates into business, you need to be. And if you are listen, this is not a part-time thing. This is an all-the-time thing. If you're not doing it, find somebody who can. If you're not creating buzz for your brand, find somebody who can. It's absolutely vital. The ROI of social media, you'll be in business in 3 years. They used to say 5 years. I think it's 3 years, to be honest. Last question I asked Gary before the end of the interview, what kind of advice can you give to skeptics, the people that say social media makes my ears bleed? The thought of Facebook and Twitter, and what is the Twitter? Is that a dance? I don't get it. What kind of advice do you give these people, Gary? Because I don't give a crap about those people. Oh, really? Well, you know what? I officially don't anymore either from this point forward. He said, listen, back in 2007, he'd go to conferences, people like, Gary, how do we get people to get on Twitter and get involved with all this? He goes, we don't. The longer we have this all to ourselves, the better off it is. You're right, we're in an infinite space right now. The people that get it right now, the people that understand that infinite space are the ones that are going to have the competitive advantage, the competitive edge of being able to not just build a brand. Far more important than your brand or your product is social equity. Me. If I piss you off, it doesn't matter how great SocialBuzzTV is. It doesn't. If I give you a reason to complain or talk, you're right. Great example. With Ron gave on his dad's Google Places on there. Was it a screw up? Yeah, it absolutely was. But if somebody, do you care about what people are saying about your brand? You better, with examples just like that. But don't delete a tweet. Don't delete a post. Don't create a case study and show a pissed off customer. You went in and played cleanup. The customer's happy again. You incentivize them to come back, and now they're a lifelong customer. Gary was going on the road with his book tour with the Thank You Economy. He wanted a case study. He's got a thank you department, not customer service. That's defense. He's got a thank you. He's got a thank you department. And okay.
You're coming across next door. So I'm trying to
oh, it was. That's right. No, quiet is kind of town. Try to use the mic. Totally kidding. Totally kidding. He wanted to use a case study before he went on with Wine Library TV. Sells wine online. Launched it in 1998. Took his dad's business from $3 million to $60 million in 1 year. People told him you can't sell wine online. You're out of your mind. He did it with e-commerce, and obviously prove them dearly wrong. He said, I want a case study when I go out and I'm talking about the book. He talks for about an hour and a half at his book signings. Great information. And he found a guy in Chicago that made a sizable order of wine in Chicago. And he wanted to do something special for this guy. He's got a thank you department. It's not going in there and saying, just making sure that the customers know they're appreciated. So he went in there, followed the guy, made sure he was legit, followed him on Twitter, and he constantly talked about Jay Cutler, Jay Cutler, Jay Cutler, Jay Cutler, Jay. For those of you who don't know, it's the quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Here he goes, I got it. He picked up the phone, called his rep in his thank you department, and he said, go to eBay, find an authentic Jay Cutler signed jersey, and ship it to this guy. He did. A week later, the guy called back and said, Gary, I'll never buy another bottle of wine from anybody, ever, ever, ever again. You've got my business for the rest of your life, for the rest of my life, as I see it. It's not about building customers. It's about building ambassadors and advocates. They're going to get out there and going to spread the word and the gospel about your brand and who you are. And most importantly, who you are as an individual, because I believe those two go hand in hand. If you love me and you love what I'm doing and you love my brand, that's a win-win right there. You're going to continue to talk. Lastly, just do it. How many people know the story of the Nike tagline, just do it? Raise the hands. Anybody? Real quick, 1988, they're in a meeting with their ad agency. They're sitting around thinking about the new campaign that's coming up, and the ad agency guy, reps look over at the Nike guys and they said, boy, you guys just do it. It was 1988, a long time ago. But how true this rings, and how many times do you hear yourself saying this or hear people saying this? Great quote from Martin Luther, another quote. How soon not now becomes never. I think these two go together. Just do it. Nike, 1988. I hope I haven't bored you too much or made you nervous. I hope nobody needs a nap after I've got done here. I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you your time tonight. Great job with sharing the stage with these guys. Very special thanks to E-Factor, everything they're doing. It's a brand new relationship with E-Factor. We just made friends like 2 weeks ago. A buddy of mine who is involved with E-Factor, Kevin Jimeno, said, I'm not able to be there, but I got the perfect guy for you. Him and I met a week prior to that, had coffee. I said, so what are we meeting for? He goes, listen, I've been hearing Social Buzz, Sebastian. I'm like, I got to meet this guy and find out what you're up to. So you created enough buzz. I didn't have any revenue. I didn't have a revenue model when I started, but my philosophy was you build the brand, the revenue comes. And if you make enough noise, somebody's going to come knock on your door. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you, Sebastian. What we want to do is